What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day. We just got done with church a few minutes ago, and it was awesome. God was speaking. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a clip from our online service, and I'm going to put it up in just a couple moments because I think it's really beneficial for anyone that watches it. Now, this is what we're talking about in church. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, it says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus." Now, that's a lifestyle verse. That's not a verse that we should come to just in our difficult times. We can, but it should be a lifestyle. We should be a people that rejoice always, continue to pray, and give thanks. Now, here's what I touch on in the clip. That when you receive Jesus as the Lord of your life, your spirit becomes alive. We're still stuck with our body and its messiness, but we have a spirit that's alive and connected to God that we can live from. And from that, we have the ability to really rejoice, to pray, and to give thanks, even in the most difficult times. Check out the clip. Because if it hasn't yet become a lifestyle, we have to make it become a lifestyle. And the way that happens is through choices, choosing, even in the difficult times. Even when your flesh is saying, "I don't want to rejoice right now. I'm freaking out." But here's where here's where the choices come in. We have the ability to make a choice because we're born again. We have a spirit inside of us that is alive that we can choose to live from. If we don't have that spirit alive in us, we really don't have a choice because our bodies are given over to sin, and that takes control. But we could stop. We could take a moment to pause and say, my flesh is not going to take the reins. I live from the new part inside of me. I live from the part inside of me that's alive, and that's what I'm living from. And so as my body is freaking out, I, the spirit man, am choosing to rejoice. I, the spirit man, am choosing to be in prayer, and I'm not going to stop praying. I, the spirit man, the new creation, am choosing to find thanks in everything. Now, it's easy for someone to get to a passage like this. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus. And they can get confused because they think they have to rejoice about that bad thing that's happening. And that's not true. It's just saying, hey, find a reason to rejoice in your bad times. Yes. I'm not rejoicing about that bad thing that's happening. I'm not going to rejoice about a death. I'm not going to rejoice about a sickness. I'm not going to rejoice about stress. But what I will rejoice about is that God has made me alive. What I will rejoice about is that God is with me in my difficult times. What I will rejoice about is that God is going to provide for me at the right moment and at the right time. I'm not rejoicing about my lack. I'm not rejoicing about my financial difficulty. What I'm rejoicing about is that there's promises in the Bible. And because those promises are in the Bible and I'm in covenant with Him, I can know that my answer is on the way because God is for us and not against us. So I can rejoice about something. I don't have to rejoice about my difficult times. I can rejoice that God is working on my behalf. I could rejoice that He came back to life. I could rejoice that He's not stuck in a grave. I could rejoice that I'm not serving a dead God. No, I'm serving a God that's alive. And because I'm rejoicing, fruits are going to be produced like faith. And if I'm rejoicing, I'm going to go into prayer. Because as I'm rejoicing and I'm recalling His benefits, and I'm recalling His goodness, it sets me up in position to pray and say, Lord, you are a provider, and so I need you to provide. I'm asking for your help. You are a healer. So God, I know you're going to heal my body. I know that you're going to heal my family. You are a restorer. So I'm going to call on restoration. I'm going to go into prayer. I'm going to let Him know how I'm feeling. But I'm also going to let Him know that I'm trusting in Him to fix what needs to be fixed because He's working on our behalf. And I'm going to find something to be thankful for. I'm going to be finding something to be thankful for. If I'm going through a bad time, then let's find something to be thankful for. Like, hey, this is a learning opportunity. This is an opportunity for my faith to grow. This is an opportunity for me to put my faith in God. And I'm going to find something to be thankful for. I'm going to be thankful that my promise is on the way. I'm going to be thankful that his rod and his staff are a comfort to me, and I'm not alone in the valley of the shadow of death. I'm going to be thankful. But there's choices. Choices. And it takes us to stop and to choose. Who am I going to serve today? What route am I going to go today? For me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Today I'm choosing to walk in the Spirit. When an obstacle comes your way, and they will come. When an obstacle comes your way, you have an opportunity to choose. I'm going to walk in the Spirit. I'm going to rejoice always. I'm going to pray without ceasing. And in everything, I'm going to give thanks. It's a lifestyle. And as you practice this, it's easy. It gets easier. It gets easier. Because there's a spiritual maturity that's developing. But you get the spiritual maturity over wise decisions. Spiritual maturity comes when you make the difficult decisions to choose to walk in the Spirit.